Hi everybody. I thought we'd discuss a wine that we haven't discussed before. It's a wonderful wine that's made in a couple of different forms. It's originally from France and it's called Cabernet Franc. It isn't pronounced Franc, there's no K in it. It's pronounced Cabernet Franc. It's often substituted in a nickname by Cab Franc. So if you see it on the wine menu or in a wine shop, or if you receive it as a gift, it's called Cab Franc. It's a wonderful wine, and I expect that many of you have not had a chance to try it because you don't see it all the time and people aren't familiar with it. So when you're not familiar with something, you sometimes don't give it a try. We're going to fix that today and discuss everything there is to discuss about Cabernet Franc. First, I have the regular version, which is a dry red wine. It's originally from France. It is produced all over the world, don't get me wrong, but its original origins is from France. And the two I have today are products of France. This is a dry red wine. And even though you hear the word Cabernet, it's not a Cabernet Sauvignon, it's a Cabernet Franc. Now there are some similarities and I'll share them with you. It is dry, red, and full bodied. It kind of stops there because the Cabernet Franc has more herbs to it than it does fruit. Cabernet Sauvignon is very much dark red fruits like the stone fruits like plums and dark cherries. But the Cabernet Franc is more of an herbaceous red wine. You definitely will get sage and marjoram, maybe a little bit of black pepper. It's sort of about that. But the one I have today is from France, as I said. It's a 2020. Now remember our previous conversations, everyone. This wine is really too young to drink, by my opinion and others. So what will happen with this bottle of wine is that it is going to be left cellared until next fall, which will be 2024. That'll give it a full 4 years so that it's lovely and it's rich and it's ready to be tasted in its finest form, you know. So it's kept in a moist, dark area laying on its side like this, so that the cork is engaged with the wine so it doesn't dry out. It's not a pretty sight to see someone struggling with a dried out cork so they can have a glass of wine. That's what happens if you don't store your wines properly, so be careful with that. You may not have a fancy cellar or even a wine refrigerator, but you can find a moist, dark place to store your wine so that they are kept in their best form. So this Cabernet Franc is from France and it's 2020. I think it probably cost around $35. Don't quote me because I can't remember. I have a lot of wine and I purchase way too many wines. But it's around $35 per bottle. Now as it ages, it will cost more. That's just how it goes. But if you purchase it when it's still young, you can get a really good value on it. And I believe it's rated around 93, 94 points, which is pretty high for its age. All the wines I bring to you on Wine with Wanda are rated 90 plus points. I own all of them. They're my property, and I only share with you what I first will consume myself. I try to drink the best wines I can for the prices that are about me. And so this is a Cabernet Franc. So how do you pair a Cabernet Franc? What's it taste like? As I said, it's full body, it's rich, and it has a lot of herbiness to it. It really is good with an old school meatloaf, right? I know, right? Remember meatloaf growing up? Well, I like the turkey meatloafs as well. I don't eat red meat, and I think you all know that about me by now over the years. But it does go really well, pairs beautifully with a turkey meatloaf, chili, pizza. You can even pour a splash into a pot of chili or a tomato sauce to enrich the sauce and bring the flavor from the recipe to your wine. Think about that. So next I have a rosé. It's also a Cabernet Franc. Red wine are made into rosés. This is a dry rosé. It's not sweet. Rosés from the 80s and 90s, and now I'm dating myself a bit, everybody. They used to be really cloyingly sweet and not very attractive, and they certainly were not sophisticated. Not anymore. Rosés are very, very sophisticated, and this is a dry rosé. It tastes like strawberries, watermelon spices, and it does have tannins because it's produced with a red wine, right? You don't have a lot of tannins like you would the red version, but there are a few in a rosé. Now let me tell you, if you're looking for a celebration, maybe like a bridal shower or even just a girls' night out on the balcony or patio in the backyard, this is a great wine for that. The color is so romantic and beautiful, and it really is a very beautiful wine to have during the warm months. It pairs beautifully with salmon. I don't know about all of you, but I'm crazy over fresh salmon, Atlantic salmon, sockeye salmon. This is a perfect wine to pair with your salmon, grilled fish, pulled pork, barbecue chicken. It is politically correct to use ice cubes with a rosé. However, I don't suggest it because you're going to end up leaving the ice cubes in the wine way too long. It's going to water down the taste and that beautiful rosé color. Now this rosé, everybody, is fermented in the bottle. It's not prepared like a champagne or a prosecco. It's fermented in the bottle. That's also referred to as a pet nat. So, beautiful rosé from Cabernet Franc, a beautiful dry red wine from Cabernet Franc. Isn't these wines amazing? I hope that you'll give them a try and look for them on wine lists when you go out to dine, or you'll look for them in your local wine shops. I'm always trying to enlighten you about wines, that you enjoy wine the same way that I do, because I love wine and I want you to love it too. Cheers.